Welcome to the Blue Cup in the Attic. No portion of the Blue Cup in the Attic may be used without the expressed written consent of Kimmy Wyatt. Hello. You guys, this is going to be absolutely fun. Today, we're going to play a game. This Blue Cup in the Attic is called How They Keep Finding You. Gang stalking. How they keep finding you. 3 parts and 2 and 5 years. Let me say that again. Gang stalking. I'm eating something, you guys, so that was my plate. I'm sorry. But you guys say she's always eating. No, I really am not. It's just I'm always recording. I record more than I eat. So, let me put my plate up here. So once again, the title, or let me start over. The title is, well, of course, TBCITA, which is the Blue Cup in the Attic. Gang stalking. How they keep finding you. 3 parts, 5 years. Very confusing title. I had to come up with a title that's going to represent what we're about to do today, and I hope you guys participate. I also am going to pause for a minute, give you time to go get either one big piece of paper, notebook paper, turned legal wise, or left to right, whatever you want to call it, or just literally get 3 pieces of notebook paper. You can get 1 or 3 depending on your budget. So here we go. The 3 parts that I mentioned in the title is you're going to do 3 things in the Blue Cup in the Attic. Okay, so there's 3 parts to this. There's no 3 parts as in part 1, part 2, part 3. But there's 3 parts within this one. 5 years is going to represent how long you've probably been stalked, if you're being stalked. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you guys how they keep finding you if you are a victim. How they will continue to find you if you're not, but could be. How they're going to find people that you know that are going through some weird stuff and you guys can't put your finger on it, especially if this is your first time listening to the Blue Cup in the Attic. First time finding out about stalking. I mean, you knew about stalking, but gang stalking, electronic stalking, but this is not it. Well, I guess it's electronics. I guess the device that they use, it could be considered an electronic. And as a matter of fact, it is. There's different types of electronics. So this could be considered group stalking and group or gang stalking, which are the same thing, or electronic stalking. So here we go. So I said all that, and I'm going to once again go back to my food and give you guys time to get pen or pencil and paper. Now, if I were you, because it's me, I can just use 1 piece of paper because I know what I'm going to say. I already know how this goes and how big, I would need to make the diagram or graph. So, but because it's you guys, and I can just about bet no one on the planet has ever had you do this, then you might want to get 3 pieces of paper. I'm going to tell you, it's mapped out better with 1. If you just turn that paper, just take that paper, and instead of doing 8.5 by 11, do 11 by 8.5. Turn it to the left. Okay. Now, I keep saying I'm giving you time to get pen and paper. Well, get and use a pencil if at all possible. Something with an eraser, which is a pencil. Something where you can say, I don't want to put that person's name. I'm going to put someone else's name. But it's up to you. So, first thing I want you guys to do, this has not been planned. I want to say that to you. I am guiding you as I go. That's how I do most of my work. Or my works. I don't plan out anything much. I plan what probably like, oh, I got to do a soup for the soul on that, or I got to do the blue cup in the attic on that. But as far as the content itself, what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it, I don't. And that's kind of crafty, because it takes a weird person to be able to do that. That'd be me. Okay, so what we're going to do today, I'm going to tell you how to map out. Put this coat hanger on my little coat hanger rack here. I'm going to tell you guys how you are continually being stalked, if you are, and how there's a possibility. If it's not happening to you, please participate, because one of two things. It's probably going to happen to you, or it's happening and you just don't know it. Can't put your finger on it. Something's going on. Okay? So, whether you have a piece of paper or 3 pieces of paper. 3 pieces of paper, I need you to put the 2 to the side and use 1 for right now. 1 piece of paper, like I said, instead of 8.5 by 11, I need you to turn it to the left and do, or to the right, and do 11 by 8.5. Okay? First thing I want you to do is, hopefully you're using a pencil, like I said, but it's okay if you're not. I want you to make a big circle, but I don't want, if you're using 1 piece of paper, you're going to have to make 3 circles. You're going to have to make 3 graphs, okay, or diagrams. So keep that in mind. And these diagrams are going to be like starbursts. So you can make them medium size, maybe, with spaces in between, okay? They don't need to touch, because you've got to put lines from the center to the outside. 5 lines each for a total of 15 lines. So here we go. So you made your circle. I need you to make a circle. 1 piece of paper, please make that circle to the far left, by the way, because you're going to go from left to right. And within that circle, I want you to put, I tell you what, scratch that. Don't scratch the circle, but scratch what I just said. Make 3 circles. If you got 3 pieces of paper, go ahead and make 3 circles on each one of those pieces of paper in the center. Don't make it too big where you can't put other stuff around the circle, but don't make it too small either, because you've got a lot of room. For the person using 1 piece of paper, please make 3 circles side by side with enough room going all the way. The left one and the right one should be as close to the edge as probably possible. Okay, but maybe no. Don't make it close to the edge. Have a little room. You know, maybe 1 inch border or something like that. Okay, or 2-inch border. So in other words, try to make these circles as centered as possible. Okay, and that's for all pieces of paper. Once you've made these 3 circles, depending on how you're doing this, in the center of each one of those circles, I want you to write the words me, capital M, small e. That's you. You are the center of that circle, of each one of these circles, okay? And once you've done that, I want you, from the center of you, to draw 5 lines each, starting from the center where you just wrote down me. Or you don't have to even start it in the center. You can start it in the center, or you can just start outside of the circle, right around the edge of the circle. But either way, I need you guys to make 5 lines, and don't make them too long, because each one of these lines are going to represent a person. And what you're going to do next is put that person's name, just first name only, on the tip of that line. Okay, so what we're making is like a starburst, basically. Not the most elaborate, but, and then around that circle, I want you to put 5 lines, each circle rather, and I want you to put 5 lines coming out. Where you put them is up to you. Anywhere that you have rooms to draw 5 lines, either from the parameter of the circle, or start from where you put the word me. But either way, these lines need to go outside the circle. Either be already outside the circle, or outside the circle. But either way, they have to either go outside once again the circle if you're doing the lines from the center, or if you decide, hey, I don't want to mess me up, I'm going to start around the edge of the circle. Okay, it has to touch the circle because these are your friends and family. They're touching you. Okay, let me know. Well, you can't let me know, but I'm going to give you time to do that. So what we've done is 3 pretty big size circles, medium size to big size, depending on how much paper you have. And inside each one of those circles, we've put the word ME, capital M, small e. And then we've created 5 lines, either from the word me to the outside, going outside the circle, or from the circle itself going outside. Okay. All right. On each one of these lines, just on one of them, one diagram. Okay, I want you to put your 5 favorite people. Now, hold on. Not in the literal sense, but probably so. These are 5 people that you talk to all the freaking time. And please don't tell me I don't talk to 5 people. I don't care for someone that you haven't seen in 2 years and you talk to them twice a year. I need 5 people on that piece of paper on the first example, the first diagram or graph. Don't do anything to the other 2 circles. And this is going to be the first. If you did 3 circles on a piece of paper, please start from left to right. You know, in other words, use the first diagram. Okay, just the first name only. You can even use initials if they all have different, you know, initials for their name. That'll probably help a lot of you out. But just keep in mind, you need to remember who these people are according to their initials. All right. 5 people that you talk to on the phone. Your celly. I'm not talking about a landline. I'm talking about a cell phone. But a landline as well, because most landlines are now VoIP, voice over IP, which means voice over internet protocol. So even though it's not a phone, a cell phone that you can take with you every day or whenever, it's still an internet service phone. So it doesn't matter. So if you talk to this person on your phone at home, your landline, which is no longer a landline, is VoIP in most cases. But if you have a phone in your home and you talk to this person on the cell, write them down, because that's someone that you talk to, mom, dad, you know, talk to all the time, grandmother, best friend. Okay, now, so what we have now, there are 3 circles, ME in the middle, 5 lines going either from me to outside the circle or from the outside of the circle itself, or the parameter of the circle, the circumference to the outside. And for each one of those 5 lines, we have a person's name, a person's initials, a person's initial. It doesn't matter. But we know who these people are, or who these lines are representing. We talk to them 5 times. They don't have to be in any particular order. Okay. Now, second thing you're going to do, we're going to the second circle. So for those of you with 3 pieces of paper, turn the other paper over and go to the second. You can look at it or push it up. I want you to look at it. So just push it away from you, but I want you to still be able to see it. So because you got to use it. Anyone who has used 1 piece of paper, turn to the left or right, meaning 8.5, instead of 8.5 by 11, you got 11 by 8.5. I need you to go to the second circle and copy everything that you just did in the first circle, but I want you to eliminate. Let's see, how can we do this? I want you to eliminate 3 people that you talk to the least out of those 5 people. So in other words, I need you to do the same thing, okay? But on this circle, I just want you to have 2 people. So you just do 2 lines instead of 5 lines. Okay, the other 3 are obsolete right now. They have been eliminated from the game. They lost. They said the wrong answer. They had the wrong answer. They're gone. You got 2 people left. Same circle, same ME, but only 2 lines coming either from the ME or from the circumference of the circle, the parameter, the outside of the circle itself, however you want to look at it. That was your choice, how you wanted to do that, as long as the line goes outside the circle. These are the 2 people that you talk to the most on the phone, whether a former landline, now called VoIP in most cases, or your cell phone. Okay, and trust me, there aren't that many people who have VoIP phones, formerly landlines, or still landlines. Landlines are still around, and if we knew what we know now, we probably would just want to have a landline, and that's if I ever get home service and I got to pay an extra couple of dollars to have a landline, you can best believe that's what I'm going to have. Because that's how it's going right now, because VoIP is a cheaper service. In other words, VoIP is what's in now, and landlines are basically almost out of here. So, but you can still get a landline. They're going to tell you probably you have to pay more, but if it's economical for you, if you have it going on like that, take it from me. If you want private conversations on your end, keep in mind the person that you're talking to is probably on a VoIP line, so, but at least your line is private, okay? And please highly suggest that they get VoIP. Now, so going back to your diagram or graph, these are the 2 people you talk to the most. Does anyone know where I'm going? Okay. Last circle. I need you to go ahead. Out of those 2 people, who do you talk to the most? Now, this may take a minute because what you've done is eliminated 3 people that you talk to the least. And these 2 people, you may talk to them absolutely around about the same amount of time. But I really need you to focus and take a couple of minutes, well, not minutes, take a couple of seconds and decide which one of these 2 people, mom and grandmother, which one of those I talk to the most? Cousin and uncle, which one do I talk to the most? Best friend, co-worker, which one? Daughter, son, whomever they are, which one of those 2? Trust me, there's a difference. It may be slight and minuscule, but there is a difference between those 2 people. They may be 50 and 51 and 49% respectively, but one of them you're going to talk to just a tad more if that's the case. All right. So what I want you to do is do the same thing in the 3rd circle. I want you to put your circle, we did that, you got your ME there. I want you to draw 1 line from that circle. And that circle, and put that person. So if I didn't say it on number 2, please put the person's name, those 2 people's names or initials or initial there. I don't think I said that, but please do. Once again, if this is 1 piece of paper, you already got it positioned, just do 1 line and put the person's name, initials, or initial. 3 pieces of paper, put that 2nd piece of paper next to the 1st piece of paper, and I need you to put that person's name right there at the tip of the line that is touching or inside of that circle. Now, when you get through with that, I need you to circle the name. This is how they're finding you. Let me explain. I don't care if you've been stalked like I have. I'm feeling for over 5 years because I have within the Blue Cup in the Attic. I don't want to call this a series, but I think I've been stalked a little longer than what I've recognized, or longer than when I realized, rather, that well, same thing, when I realized I'm being stalked. And so what I did, there's a part one, a number one, and a number two. Number one has two parts. And then there's two of probably about 8 or 9 incidences. I've only done two of them, like I said, where I feel, going over my life, that I've probably been stalked longer than what I had realized. As a matter of fact, I know in my heart I have. And before we go further, you got to recognize on YouTube, there's there's hundreds of videos on targeted individuals, which I am, gang stalking, group stalking, electronic stalking. Please start studying this stuff, you guys. It's not a joke. I'll even go as far as to say we're in the end times. It's really not a joke, because people are doing things that you are totally outside. They may have already been evil, but they're even more so evil now, and a lot of you can attest to that. Just go over your life, people that you talk to all the time. Just simply sit down and relax and start thinking, wow, that was weird that they did that. You know, that's abnormal for someone to do something like that. Okay. So, and also join my YouTube channel. I have a 174 or 5 videos there. Please, this is how you get to me. You do a search on Kimmy Wyatt. I cannot be found. I'm there. I'm not there. I'm there. I'm not there. Now I'm not. Now I'm not there at all. Yet I have 175 videos, 74, 75 videos on YouTube. I've complained many times about why my name is not indexed, and it is what it is. And so, but what you do is go ahead and try to type me in anyway. When you start typing me in, you're going to have Kimmel, as in Jimmy Kimmel, come up. I am not Jimmy Kimmel, but my name should be before his. If you know how to alphabetize. Let's see. There's some other Kim Wyatt. You know, they're an attorney or something. You guys, why is my name not there? Okay. So what you do is just type it all in, regardless of what pops up in the search bar. And KIMME space Wyatt, or KIM capital ME, as it should be, space Wyatt. Okay. And press enter. This is going to bring me up in the search. Some of them, one or two, or all of some, a lot of, 1, 2, or many of my videos are going to show up. So just click on either of those videos. Doesn't matter which one. It says Kimmy Wyatt Official for right now. That's going to change probably in the near future. But for right now, if you see Kimmy Wyatt Official, that is me. I had to do that because there was some idiot on YouTube claiming to be Kimmy Wyatt, and they have the same amount of videos now, and they're trying to be me. They know that I know why they're trying to be me, and I know that they know why. I know that they know that I know. I think I said that right. Why they're trying to be me. I can't reveal to you why, but that's what they're doing. I'll reveal it to you later when something gets done, but I know what they're doing. Okay. So the last person and from the circle, you guys, I'm talking about 5 years minimum. No. This is 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Around 2008, 2009, 2008. Yeah. Around 2009. 9 years. Okay. 8 or 9 years. And these are incidences that I've probably been spied on. Okay, so what you do now, you guys, is, I hope you guys can hear me because I keep, oh, there's nothing up there. I have this, I have my cell phone like pointing in my jaw, and I thought I was covering up some of the volume. I hope I didn't. Okay, so now this is fun. This is the person that you talk to the most, regardless of whom it is. This is how they keep finding you. Let me tell you what you've done over the years. I'm going to start with people who know that they are being stalked. Okay, people that know that they're being stalked, and it's gotten to my level. Stalked, spied on, followed, gang stalked, pervs watching you. They're paying them to watch. I mean, anything that's imaginable. You sell your vehicle. It's like it's never ending. But I know mine's is going to end because I've got plans. And if they only knew, not just personal plans, but there's some things going on. Okay. Yeah. And like I told them, you could have watched anyone else but me. I mean, duh. World's dumbest criminals. Criminals need to stay in their lane. You should know who you need to mess with and who you don't need to mess with. And whomever this organization is, the people over it thinks they're bad and smarter and all of that stuff. Because you know what? They've been getting away with it for so dang on long that's the mindset that they have, that I'm going to stop, I'm going to give up, I'm going to back out, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. Really? If you don't know me by now, you will never, never, never know me. I know that song doesn't go like that, with that kind of tone and voice, but you know what? You don't know me. So, your cell phone. The person that's left on that piece of paper is the link, and your cell phone is the culprit. If you are gang stalked like I am, and you decide many times, let's say the last 2 or 3 years, you have had different phone numbers. You have had, I'm going to give you guys 5 years, okay, because 9 years is a long time. That's my life. Someone's been watching you. You realize, like me, wait a minute, this and this happened back in such and such and such. I'm going over my life. Like, oh my God. I overlooked, I knew at the time, I remember clearly that something wasn't right, but I let it go. I didn't worry about it. I never thought in a million years it was stalking. But I'm going to give you guys 5 years, okay? Over those 5 years, you have changed your number because of this. This is just a scenario. Maybe you've kept the same number and you know that you're being stalked, but you didn't know this. So you kept the same number. Regardless, if you have changed your number several times, they don't have and gotten new phones. Let's say you've changed your number every year for 5 years and you've gotten 3 phones. One of them got cracked. You got rid of it. You didn't want to get it fixed because it would cost more to get it fixed. Okay. Another one, it fell in the toilet. Okay. And then you have this current one that you have, right? Mistakes that you're making. Or first of all, I don't do this. I do not put contacts in my cell phones. I stopped that years ago before I even realized concretely that I was being spied on, or realized rather, because the other incidences, which by the way, I didn't finish telling you this, it's called with the Blue Cup in the Attic, of course, but these 8 or 9 incidences, I'm not for sure because I had to think of them. And I was at 7, but I thought of another one and I may think of another one. So it may be 8 or 9 incidences. They're called circumstance or evidence. There are 2 videos of circumstance or evidence. The Blue Cup in the Attic, space, circumstance or evidence. There are 2 of them already on the YouTube channel. And one of them, the first one, I think has a part 2 because I thought of something else. Okay? So, but you've had 5 years, which is why the title's like that. 5 years. Um, I forgot that. Let me see. Something 5 years. Because I had to. This was a doozy title. I had to. 3 parts, 5 years. The 3 parts in the title represents the 3 diagrams that you made. The 5 years is approximately how long you've probably been stalked. So what you're going to do is what I'm trying to let you see rather is your cell phone. Those people that you don't call all the time, out of the 5, those 3 that you eliminated, let's just say one of them, you don't even talk to them anymore at all at this point. You just don't, or 2 of them. You guys parted ways. You don't talk to them, yada, yada, yada. The 3rd one, yeah, every 8 months maybe you talk to them. Literally, but every 8 months, one time you talk to them. You get off the phone, you guys don't call again. Okay, and then you delete all your numbers out of your cell phone. You reset your cell phone. You've got a new cell phone, so that person's eliminated. And the other 2, like I said, are basically the same. Here's the deal. Even if you change your phone number, you guys, who do you call after? I think you guys can see where I'm going. Who do you call after you get your new phone? Who do you call with it? Not necessarily a new phone, because you can have a new phone with the same number. So who do you call when you get a new number? I said that wrong. Yes, you call that person right there on that piece of paper. But this is what has happened in the background. Remember all of your other phones that you had? Remember all of the telephone numbers that you had? Remember that this person right here is the person that you talk to the most? Well, what they did, the stalkers, to continue to find you is write down your contacts. Like I said, I don't keep them. It's too much information, TMI. And like I said, even before I realized I was being spied on, I didn't keep contacts. It's just TMI, too much information. And then people wonder how they get this and how they know this and how they know this and blah, blah, blah. All an ignorant person has to do, all a stalker or perv has to do is go down your contact list. They're going to eliminate basically the people that you don't talk to that often, unless they hear your conversation and with that person and that you guys are doing something you have no business, or they're doing something. They're gonna contact them on a different level, like a different day, to get their information. But the person that you talk to the most is the person that you're going to call when you get your new number, and you do it every time. Every single number that you've had, and I've had some, trust me, it's a joke with my aunt and uncle now, because I've had that many numbers over the years. Those people, that's who they're contacting. When they get your contacts, they start hacking into your contact's phone, that one person that's right there. Okay? Guess what's going to happen? Let's just say you get your phone number changed and you don't call that contact for 3 or 4 days, and they're on you like white on rice, just like they're on me. What is going on? We don't have any kind of way to find out what she's doing, blah, 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 blah. And they're hotter than a firecracker, which is just how that would go with me. And I'm not the only one, but it's strange. I have to say, in a way I am, because I'm the only one that's harping on them the way that I am, that I know of, and all in their beeswax and everything. So they're Kool-Aid. So they're pissed off. I don't care. You're going to call that person within ample time, and you're going to let them know that your phone number, your number has changed. This is, hey, I was just leaving you a voicemail to let you know that this is my new number. I don't know if you tried to call me. Or they pick up, hey girl, Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. This is my new number. Where have you been? I've been wondering about, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I've been busy. But this is my new number, and I'm just letting you know. Lock it in your phone. Yeah, let me save your number right now. Guess how they're going to get your number? They're going to call that contact because they got that contact out of your phone because they were hacking in all of your phones at some point and wrote down all of your contacts. And they're going to keep hacking and hacking and hacking into that contact's phone until you call. Ding, 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 ding. And there you have it. Please tell people to keep your number out of their phone. Please tell people like I do that once we get off the phone to delete my phone number. Please tell people to go back to the old school way of doing things and write my number down in 2 different places just in case you lose the first one. You can have it, the backup. But don't ever leave my number in your phone. Don't ever talk while we're on the phone about where I live. Don't ever ask me where I live. As a matter of fact, when I move, and I am moving, I have already come to the conclusion that I cannot tell people where I'm moving. I'm going to have to send them a letter. You can't mess with the Postal Service, idiots. And this is sad. But I always kind of wanted to go back to the way things used to be, writing letters to your friends in the in the classroom and, writing letters outside the classroom in summertime. The phone service we had, if one person was on the phone, you couldn't talk on the phone because they were on the phone. There was no call waiting at some point. There was no 3-way calling. So you had to, if someone was using that phone, it was just being used. And here's another deal. If that phone was off the hook accidentally, woo-wee, bam, 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 busy signal. Thank you. Thank you, Ma Bell, for changing things. 3-way calling came into play. Call waiting right behind each other, respectively. We were in heaven. That means that my friend can call me while you're on the phone. That means that I can call 2 of my friends while I'm on the phone. That means while you're on the phone, you can click over and answer the phone and tell my friend that when you get off the phone, you will let me use the phone. Mom. But that person is the link. They're the link. They're the link. They know that you talk to this person all the time. They know that you have a rapport with this person. They know because they've been listening to your conversations. And actually, it's not like they're just going to pick that person out, but that person's going to be the top person that they're going to hack into until you call. When you call, they're in their phone already waiting with bated breath for you to call, twiddled thumbs rather, and you call, and that's how they get your new number. Once they get your new number, they don't need the person anymore. They use them like a wet dish rag. They're gone. But they keep the number just in case you change your number again. They know that they can always depend on the link. Once you change that number and you start conversing with that person and whatever, they're hacking in your phone. You didn't even know this stuff existed. You didn't even know there was such a thing as hacking. You had no clue, but you knew something was wrong. Something is going on. So now they can hear your conversation with that person. They can hear your credit card information. They can hear your bank information. But most importantly, they can hear where you live. Now, I know that sounds like a strange sentence, but you got what I'm saying. They can hear where you live. Stalked. Found again. You guys, be careful of the things that you tell people over the phone. Please. I would not at this point, and I don't do it, and I'm telling you, I haven't done it in a while, especially when I realize, because I don't brag on myself, but I'm not the dumbest cookie in the cookie jar. So conversations I have over there and over here, not in my apartment. And over here wouldn't matter, but you can't get a really good connection anyway. 50% of the people that live over here can't even get a good connection, regardless of the carrier. You can't get a good phone connection. You have to go in certain places and talk on the phone, or certain places in your apartment. And then that spot may not be good. And, because someone may have a signal jammer, that jams the signal when you get on the phone, so you have to go outside. And it kills me how some of these people think they can multitask their body. They can be in multiple places at multiple times. If they mess up something in your apartment and stop you from talking in your apartment, that means you can't talk in your apartment. But guess what? There's a whole big world outside when I open my door. When I open my front door, there's a world outside, meaning I have 2 feet, or even if I didn't, I'm mobile. I know how to walk. I know how to get out of my apartment and go outside and find a place. I know how to leave, period. Leave the premises. So what kills me about a dumb criminal in these cases, they feel like they're really dumb. These are people who are smart but dumb. They feel like they're smarter than you. They have the upper hand. You may be smart in this, but I'm smart in that. I'm always going to have a up. No, you're not. You're just always dumb. This is Kimmy Wyatt. Once again, if you change your phone number, please be careful of whom you talk to. Please tell them to remove your number out of their phone once you guys stop talking. Please tell them to reset their phone. Reset their phone and go in their apps and disable apps that they do not use or need. Stop them and then also disable them. Okay? Please tell them to get an old track phone. I talked about this stuff on Facebook. Track phones, the old track, TRAC. If you really have to talk to this person all the time, it really would benefit you to have 2 phones. One phone is that you don't give a fat freak who calls you on that phone. The other one is where you're going to have your most important private conversations, calling your credit card company, calling your bank, calling your mortgage company, calling your business partner, anything that's of importance. I highly suggest that you get a track phone. Here's the deal. The track phone that's of old is a track phone that could not be tracked. You could not hack a track phone back in the day. And when I say back in the day, 6 years ago. Well, about 5 years ago, track phone finally came out with phones that, because they did not, well, the first phones didn't have data capabilities. It was just straight talk and text. Okay. You couldn't hack into them because they didn't get on the internet. In order for someone to hack in your phone with a track phone, they had to hack into the network to hack into your phone. And that just basically wasn't happening. You basically have to be the president for them to want to just hack that hard to get in your phone. But then they have come out 2010 or 2011 and so on with 2 different phones. I've had both of them, and I'm sure they have even newer phones now. But these 2 phones that I had that came out right behind each other after the original phone could get on the internet. And I'm going to tell you, when I had to get a new phone sent to me because I lost a phone or something, one of those phones, I specified. I do not, it was a phone service. I do not want the new phone. I want the old phone. That lady was able to contact a phone center within their infrastructure where they distribute the phones, where they ship them out. And she was able to track down, very smart lady. She was able to track down me one of those old track phones that did not have the data capabilities. I was in heaven. Okay? I was in heaven. That's a phone that you do not want to get rid of, okay, if you have one, because you can still buy the minutes. If I'm not mistaken, you can still buy minutes for that phone. I don't know if they were SIM card capable, but I've got a couple of them myself stored in a private place outside of this apartment, and I will be using them when I move. I have already asked the person to keep these phones for me, and I will be using them when I move. And I have, and I suggest if you're like me, that hey, if you want to talk to me, I'll buy, the phones are cheap, $9.99. I mean, and you buy the card. First of all, your talk time is going to be cut because it's a per minute plan. Old basic per minute plan, just like back in the day. They were the safest. We didn't know that at the time. We didn't even think about safety at the time. But right now, as it is, those are the safest phones if you want your conversations to be private. If you don't want to look up and see your neighbor with parked in the parking lot while you're in a restaurant and they're backed in and they're watching through the window and watching you being stalked. If you don't want to be in a meeting or a meeting that's supposed to be private, this just happened to me yesterday. As a matter of fact, I'm at a meeting. It was other people there. Don't get me wrong, but it was per appointment, and looked around, and a dude was messing with his phone. Yeah, he just walked in, and another lady walked in. Would just sat down. Pervs, followers, spies. They're getting paid. Okay. This dude, I'm telling you, you just would have had to have been there. Okay. I turn around. I leave out of that room. I specifically asked to be the last person to be seen once I realized what was going on, because you had to give like personal information. And I was like, no. And she agreed because I was next. She actually called my name, and I asked her if I could see her outside, not outside, but, if I could see her in the other area. And I told her what was going on, and she said, oh, okay. I told her I wanted to be the last to be seen, and I was. But next to the last, another lady came in really, really late. But she was legitimate. They had called her name and all that whole thing. Had some problems getting there. But you guys know what? I went after I was seen. This is scary. And I'm so glad I had a witness. After I was seen, I went into that big area where the lady said, I'll be right back. But she called my name and just told me, I'll be right back. But I followed her, outside to let her know, outside of that room to let her know what was going on. The room that I went in, which is bigger than the room we were in, but you have to go through that room to get to the room that we were in. I went in that room, pulled out my laptop, because over the last couple of days, I've been trying to change the passcodes on my laptop. Finally accomplished it. Had to go away from my apartment complex, literally, to change the passcode, away to a place that no one knew, I thought, where I was, okay? Because of how I got there. Well, talking to this lady, were the last two people in there. Now they had, the people that were there was a handful, but they were all seen or knew they were going to be seen. And finally, they're gone. They're gone out of the room. So it was one lady left and myself. Now I didn't have to be seen. I was already seen. But I pulled my laptop out and went to a table, laptop battery going down. So I had to go sit close to an electrical outlet and plug it in. And I was able to change my passcodes. Yay. Okay, here we go. While talking to that lady, I don't meet any strangers. We both turned around simultaneously. For some reason, God is good, at the same time. In the back of that room was a door, like an emergency door, glass door. There was a guy who, when I turned around before she did, and it was God, because I don't even, my bags were in the back, and and as a matter of fact, that's why, even though I knew I was the only one in the room, just keep checking your stuff, you don't know. So I just turned around because I left my two bags on that table. But you would have had to pass by me, or I would have seen you come in the room. But I still, to go back there. But still, you look back there and see if your stuff's okay. And when I turned to look, there was a male who hurriedly jumped from in front of that window to the side. She turned around right after I did. We both turned around for some reason. And I am so glad that woman, I saw more than she did because she saw a flash. I saw a body. She probably saw a leg or something. I saw a whole body, but the person left that window, you guys, that door. And I immediately, I said, oh my God, I'm being spied on. I let her know while I'm walking very hurriedly to the door. This was a pretty big room. That person was nowhere to be found. And I couldn't see the exact corner. I was missing a corner. So I kept looking. I kept getting to the edge of the door so I can see. The rest of it, there was a wall right there, you guys, that I could see. I'm like, this person didn't go through the wall. Okay. They did not go through the wall. And then there is a, not a bar, not a fence. I guess you would call it a fence, a gate, that went from the brick all the way to the end almost. And then there was the stairs. He did not go in that direction. He went in the other direction. So what he did basically was climbed over the stairs. You could park back there. That was for the employees, but you could go back there. How do you think the employees get back there? Who was that? You guys, when I tell you I am being like pro-stalked, I'm not just being stalked by someone infatuated or whatever. I'm really being stalked, and it's not a joke. And I am so glad that that lady looked, because what I did, I didn't finish telling you. I went to the front desk and I said, excuse me, can I open this back door because the such and such and such and such and such and I'm being stalked and blah, blah, blah. And this guy just blah, 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 She was like, no, we don't open that door. And I was like, please, ma'am. And then so she said, do you really want to go and find out what? I said, yes, ma'am. What she did was went into that small room, had a little room next to it. She went into that door. It's like a big room that had rooms within, the big room, you can go to another part. And the room that we were originally in had a room next door to it. She opened that door and that door went out. Then you can go outside from that particular door. And I looked out there and there was a door in that corner that I could not see from where I was. And she said, maybe it was such and such and such, and maybe. She said, but that door, we keep that door closed. Or maybe they realize that, and I'm looking at her like, oh, okay. No, ma'am, no. That person, when I turned around, in other words, that person was staring in the door. But when I turned around, I startled them and they hurriedly got from in front of the door. And just like magically disappeared. An employee would not have a reason to do that, would they? This is KimMeWyatt. You guys be very, very careful. Try to get a track phone if at all possible. And track phones only work if both parties have track phones. Keep that in mind. You can have a track phone and what you're saying is not private if you're talking to that person right there on that piece of paper because they're hacking in their phone now to hear what you're saying. Not your phone, their phone. Okay, and giving your address out again. So it's just like a never-ending story. They're gonna. How did they find me? How did they find me? I made sure such and such and such and such. Also, as in my case, how they found out where I am here. I crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. Sold my vehicle because of the tracking devices. Guys know the story. But here's the deal: I didn't have a vehicle, so the person that was taking me here. Which I had to come to this place 12 times because they were brand new. They didn't know basically what they were doing, some of the staff. And so I came literally like 12 times out here just to get in this apartment, just to be spied on. And I'm going to tell you, the person that was bringing me, I love him to death, but I specifically asked him to please turn his phone off. But he's one of these people who are in denial about spying, me being spied on. He's not anymore, but he was. And, although he would flip the script a lot. Really? And that would turn to, well, I don't understand how, Leo. Just gonna put it that way. So you guys be careful. I gotta go. This is probably the longest TBCITA that I've done. Well, right on time. Or I was going to say the longest TBCITA or Blue Cup in the Attic, but I think 54 minutes, 55 minutes is the longest average. Okay, hasta la vista, buenas horas, buenas noches, arrivederci, au revoir, salida. Don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you. You guys, please, 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 I ask and beg of you to please be careful. Your stalkers are finding out about you because of you. Okay, and it's you slipping. It's as simple as that. You have to be careful about what you do and what you say. Stop having conversations in your apartment if you live in an apartment complex. Stop having conversations in your home. If you know you've come home and someone's come in your home, but they didn't steal anything, that's your cue to stop having conversations in your home. Because trust me, you have been your home has been raped by cameras. Raped by your stalkers, rather. And they put cameras in there. They're not going to steal anything. That's very obvious. Now, when you find out what they're doing and realize what they're doing, they're going to start moving stuff around and doing little stupid stuff, because it's how stupid they are. But you're safer in a home. I'll tell anyone, you're safer in a home. Because you can put those grand old cameras around, counter surveillance, you know what I'm saying? And counter spy cams or whatever. A cam's a cam, and you can have your place on lockdown, and I want to say this before I go, and I'm so glad I thought of this, because that would have been a whole new, the Blue Cup in the Attic, which would have been kind of like a waste, not a waste, but a waste of time. You guys, please, I know that there are cameras out here now that, besides the high-tech ones that they're using, but there are cameras where you can actually, they're Wi-Fi, and you can actually check on your home instantaneously. Like you're at work and you'll get a notification that someone opened your door. You know what I'm saying? The new ones. Those are great. Whoever came up with those, excellent idea. However, there is nothing like monitored service. This is why you want monitored service. You want monitored service because those cameras can be hacked into. If someone can hack into those cameras, and they are very hackable because they're usually using an IP address, okay, that's connected to your internet service or something. And so they're using that service in order to notify you of this and notify you of that. And you can connect your phone with that service, and you can see when someone lets up your garage because there's a camera right there, and all that stuff is great. It's really great. And it needs to be used, and it serves a purpose. But if you really, 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 really want to catch someone in your home, your apartment, if the apartment complex will let you do it, get monitored service. Monitored service means if someone opens that door and they don't have the code, and please cover your code up when you're changing your code, opening your door, engaging or disengaging your alarm. I said that in another the Blue Cup in the Attic that I did. I forgot the title, however. But please, when you are engaging and disengaging or arming and disarming your alarm, please cover it up with your other hand. If you're left-handed, cover it up with your right hand. If you're a right-handed person, cover up the keypad with your left hand. Likewise, changing your code. You need to change your code, which I suggest you do as of getting off of this and finishing listening to this. Change your code, okay? Especially if you're okay and no one's coming in, don't change it. But if you in your heart know there has been some strange things going on, change your code. And if you don't know how to change it, look at the pamphlet, the manual, if you have that kind, or if you are already on a monitored service, call them and ask them, how do you change your code? And please don't do this. Do not let them bring someone out to change your code. This is organized crime. It's a lot of companies, employees that work for companies, let me say that way, because it's not the companies that are in this organized crime ring of spying on people. A lot. I want to name names, and I did name a couple of names in a couple of the Blue Cups and Cups in the Attic, but it's too many to name, and I don't want these companies to think I'm harping on them. It's the people they're hiring, or they've hired, okay, taking advantage of a situation. So please do not let someone come out and change your passcode, your code on your alarm system if it's monitored. do it yourself. Please do not talk on your phone. If you don't have a monitored alarm system, go outside and ask them, how do I change outside, not outside your door, go across the street or something. Ask them, how do you change the code on your keypad? Also, if you're going to go outside across the street or wherever, or do it at work or whatever, make sure that your phone is in safe mode or some kind of mode where you use someone else's phone. There you go. Use your coworker's phone, okay, or your phone at work on your lunch break or whatever, and ask them, how do you change your passcode? Okay, go home, cover it up with a piece of paper above the keypad if you want to do that. But either way, change your code, you guys. So this is Kimmy Wyatt. Let me go. This is officially the longest one now, and I'm not keeping up long, short. I'm just saying. This is the longest one I've ever done. So keep up with that, you guys, please. Please. You guys need to. Oh, is this my little cat friend out here? Oh, no, that's not the cat. It's a different cat. I'm not going to even go into when I said cat friend. You guys, if you've been keeping up with me, you know what cat that I'm talking about, okay? Hasta la vista. Buenas tardes. Buenas noches. Arrivederci. I hope this helped someone. Ciao Bella, ciao Bello. If you have any questions, please post your questions wherever this is posted. And also, announcement, please go to my Google Plus page. If you're already logged into anything Google, that's YouTube, Google Plus, Gmail. If you're logged into any Gmail, Google products, then all you have to do is go to my URL. That URL is plus/plus sign, as in minus, plus the symbol, and Kimmy Wyatt, KimMeWyatt, all together. Click enter or whatever if you're on your keyboard or whatever on your phone, and I should come up somewhere off in there. And that's the actual URL. URL is like the website, but it's my page. Follow that page. You'll see follow right there. If you're already logged in, it's going to say follow. If you see sign in at the upper left, upper right, or sign up, whatever you got to do it. Okay, just sign in, sign up, and when you sign in, you're going to be logged into your Gmail. Just to let you guys know, if you're not logged into any of your Google products, and then you go to that and say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Just sign in, and then but keep in mind, once you sign into G Plus, there's a chance you're also sign into your Gmail. If you open up another browser and go to gmail.com, you're going to see where you can just start looking at your messages. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, and vice versa. If you're already logged into your Gmail, all you have to do is go to that website I just gave you, the URL, and it will just say follow and follow. Part 2 of that is I want you guys to go ahead. I have 33 collections. If you want to just follow the Blue Cup in the Attic, then once you follow the page, or if you just want to follow the Blue Cup in the Attic, but you have to follow the page. No, I don't know. I don't know how that will work, but follow the page first and then follow the Blue Cup in the Attic. I have 33 collections. Only 4 of those will be on that home page. Click view all at the top right above those 4 that are listed there. They're not listed. They're actually pictures that represent the collections. And when you click view all to view all of them, you'll see all of my collections, for which you can follow all or just follow 10 to, I want to follow this collection about food. I want to follow this collection about jazz. What that does, the difference between you following the page and following the collection is this. Following the page will give you an example in your feeds of like basically all of my stuff. But if you follow the collection, then you are guaranteed to get the feeds from that collection. It's like a guarantee. Like, I am going to get everything that this person posts and within my post in this collection in my feeds. Okay, I have my quotes there. You guys, if you only knew how many quotes I have. I laugh about it because it's I just come up with them at least. I'm telling you, once a week I'm coming up with some kind of quote, and I don't sit there and say, what can I say this week? They really literally just come off the top of my head, my dome. And not only that, I have those that I have taken off of Facebook. I'm no longer on Facebook and no longer. And so I have, there's a lot of them there. And see, when you don't log in, you don't see all of them. That's another thing. You don't see hardly any of my things when you're not logged in to that page. But I have so many quotes to post. So I'm just letting you guys know that is on my agenda. I have, oh my God, some of them I just look at and laugh because I'm like, I can't believe I came up with that. I've been called Shakespeare, by the way. Like, that's Shakespeare. No, it's Kim Spear. Or Kimmy Spear. All right. Gotta go. Smooches. I already said everything. My hasta la vistas and buenas aires, except for smooches. Bye.